I have like really bad hypochondria, and it's not something I want to talk about much in the channel, but sometimes it's a real pain in the ass, especially when I'm out walking and stuff. And I know that over my life, I've possibly worn out relationships because instead of getting counseling or whatever, I've just like used girlfriends and friends as like kind of like substitute doctors. Um, and I don't think anyone really in the end wants to be around someone who every day is dying of a new mysterious illness. It drives me crazy. I know it's all in my head, but yeah, so I caught the bus down to the south coast to see my doctor tomorrow, just because while I was walking there was just bullshit going on in my head. I've got to make a little bit of money. Stealth camping and walking from place to place is much cheaper than renting or paying off a mortgage, but it still does cost money. And shout out to Ray. I don't know if you wanted to be mentioned, but no one knows who you are. No offense. But yeah, Ray sent me $100, which was great. Cheers. I bought this new sleeping bag, which I'm going to try out soon, probably when I get back to Bungendore and continue the walk. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of busking, making some coin, and just sort of, you know, practicing meditation, being okay with like not self-medicating. The irony about, you know, being sort of a little bit on the more OCD, anxiety riddled side of things, especially when it comes to like health anxiety, is I found I could switch it off from the age of 14, 15. I could just switch it off by getting drunk, and because I'm a terribly shy person as well, it sort of killed two birds with one stone. I would stop thinking about all the shit that might be wrong with me, and I'd also stop worrying about whether everyone hates me, and I suddenly had heaps of friends. And I stopped drinking like 15 months ago, and yeah, it takes a lot of, I think it's going to take a lot of time and just accepting that you're not going to feel that confident or good all the time. And it's partly why I do a lot of walking, because I read a lot of stuff when I was getting sober about how your brain kind of constantly rewires itself and creates new neurons and stuff when you're actually covering a lot of distance on foot. It's like an evolutionary thing. I wish I could link to those articles, but you know, it's not like I was doing a PhD or writing an essay. I was just, I mean, you can Google it. But I do notice that, like, you know, that walk I did last year from Bateman's Bay all the way up to the Gold Coast, like, shit really changed. It was a huge deal for me. Unfortunately, it ended in a nightmare scenario, my version of a nightmare scenario, which is being in hospital, wondering if I'm going to get out alive, with nurses giving me differing prognoses and not really being consistent, and getting sent on my way at 1 a.m. without knowing what the fuck was wrong with me. It took me a long time with severe, you know, the hypochondria got triggered so badly. It's why I stopped posting videos, stopped doing so many things, because I kind of wanted to hide away. It's so embarrassing being so insane in that regard. I'm quite sane in many other ways, but not when it comes to anything medical. Like, for example, when I was a kid, I remember when it really started, which was like, there used to be these advertisements in the late 1980s that were about AIDS and how you could get AIDS if you like had unprotected sex or shared drugs, and it was like really scary, like this grim reaper coming, and just like it was terrifying as a little kid. And so of course at the age of like 5, I thought I had AIDS because I had a dream where I had sex with my teacher when I was 5. That's bizarre. Fuck, man. And I also used to cuddle my teddy bear, and I thought maybe the teddy bear had AIDS. I know that even then I was smart enough to know that that shit's bullshit. But I couldn't eat. It was like the first time I went into the anxiety spiral, really. like at the age of 5, like losing weight, pale. Man. And then there were these ads about leukemia. It seemed like every second kid in the 90s had leukemia and had the bald head and was in a wheelchair and stuff. Even the word would send tingles down my spine. You know, I was convinced that, and like I saw some TV show where the family lived under power lines and the kids all got cancer, and so I didn't want to go anywhere near power lines. I'd see power lines and run the other way, you know. And then when I was a teenager and I smoked some pot and it went the wrong way, it fucked me up, and I still can't touch that stuff. And there's been a few times I accidentally have when I was really hammered, and oh my God. But I became terrified then that I had schizophrenia. That was the next thing. And Parkinson's and everything else. I remember lying in the bathtub naked, just shaking. I just couldn't stop shaking. This is when I was 15, and my mum was like trying to calm me down. And oh man, heart palpitations. So I've just learned to like kind of live with all this weird stuff. Every day there's something else, blah blah blah. And the thing with hypochondria, of course, is, you know, sometimes you do get sick and you do have to take it seriously, and you can't just ignore everything. So I don't know, it's a tough one, because, you know, it's like if you're a hypochondriac, it's guaranteed that one day you're going to be right, you know, unless a tree falls on you and kills you. Or and I seem to be upping the odds of that happening with my lifestyle. But I am looking forward to getting back up to the coast. I bought this new sleeping bag. I think it's like it's a Roman brand. I don't know much about gear really. It cost $209, and I'm just gonna jump into the deep end. I mean, I might sleep in the tent tonight. That's the other thing, wondering if I'll take the tent or the hammock. Sorry if that wind, I don't know if the microphone's picking up the wind. But anyway, this, as I said, this was just a talking video, and I just thought I'd do a little update. So I'm going to get back. The next video will be me leaving Bungendore and figuring out which way I want to go. I really want to go on the Corn Trail down Clive Mountain. Just figuring out the logistics of getting all my stuff there. I mean, I'll carry it on my back, but you know, I'll probably have to take about 6 days worth of water and food, which I've never had to carry that much. So, yeah. To future adventures. Peace.